Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
You recall bringing breakfast to her room, sir?
I did, Your Honor.
All right. And how long were you there, sir?
For about 5 minutes, Your Honor.
And after the 5 minutes, you left?
That was it, Your Honor.
Was that it?
No, I had to ask him to leave, actually.
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. You want him to pay $628.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knock my socks off. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. The law talks about something may in fact be true, but can they prove it? And that's what's tough.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Wilson Neville claims he hired a social media influencer to promote his hotel and says she left without fulfilling her end of the agreement. Mr. Neville is suing Sophia Kent in the amount of $750.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Get up at the Thomas. Mr. Neville, prove your case here, sir. Why are you entitled to the $750?
Sir, she is in breach of contract.
All right.
We entered into a contract for her free stay at our hotel. We agreed that she would do 3 social media posts.
And the value of 3 nights stay is $750?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you felt as though her 3 social posts were worth that amount?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, was that the understanding, Ms. Kent?
Mm-hmm. So I'm a social media influencer.
Okay.
I have 300,000 followers on my social media account. So my job, how I earn my living, is I exchange social media posts for monetary benefits or free stays at hotels, restaurants, free meals.
Do bartering.
It's bartering, yeah. Sometimes it's for money, sometimes it's for free stays, and I travel.
How long have you been doing that?
2 years.
2 years, and so far so good.
So far so good.
Mr. Neville, how did you find out about Ms. Kent?
She actually contacted me, Your Honor.
Oh, you reached out to the hotel? Mm-hmm. And had you already decided you were going to stay there and you wanted to see whether or not you can do this bartering with them? How did that work?
So I am based in the Los Angeles area.
All right.
And specifically with this set of posts I was going for,
yes.
I wanted a place that was a little bit outside of LA that a lot of my following could go to for a little like vacation, you know, where they wouldn't have to go too far. And I found Mr. Neville's hotel in Dana Point. And
you ended up talking to him directly?
I talked to him directly, yeah. I contacted the hotel, got in touch with him.
All right, and Mr. Neville, what do you recall the conversation being?
Your Honor.
Were you aware that this is something that people are doing, that they're using their social media presence?
Yes, Your Honor. I come from the older generation where we work long hours. This new generation thinks that they can just get anything for free, Your Honor.
Oh, I see. And that was your impression of Ms. Kent?
Oh, absolutely, Your Honor.
Was that before or after she initially came to stay at your location?
It was after the 3 nights, Your Honor.
And why did you have that impression, sir, after the fact?
Well, first off, she didn't finish the contract, and she only posted 1 initial post.
There was only 1 post, and there were supposed to be 3.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that was what you felt was a breach of the contract?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Kent, how many posts did you agree to?
I agreed to 3 posts.
How many did you end up actually doing?
1 post.
Any particular reason why?
The first night went great.
All right.
I checked in. I got to relax for a little bit. I went to bed. I woke up for a fresh start in the morning, and I had posted on that first day. That was the only post that was made.
Day 2.
Day 2. I wake up, and Mr. Neville brought me breakfast that morning to my hotel room. He came in and kind of, started talking to me. We hadn't met in person yet, so we had a kind of normal conversation. He was there for like 5 to 10 minutes.
All right. You recall bringing breakfast to her room, sir?
I did, Your Honor.
All right.
I wanted to make sure that her stay for the first night was accommodating.
Sure.
And I wanted to actually meet her.
You contacted the restaurant or the chefs there and said, let's make her something nice, and I'll bring it and say good morning and welcome.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And how long were you there, sir?
For about 5 minutes, Your Honor.
5 minutes. And after the 5 minutes, you left?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Did you think anything of the event other than I just brought her breakfast and said welcome, and that was pretty much it?
That was it, Your Honor.
Was that it?
No, I had to ask him to leave, actually.
You had to ask him to leave?
He just kind of lingered. He came into my hotel room. And I'm a single young woman. This is my living. I'm not here with anybody else. I travel for a living, and that can be really dangerous. So he has a key to my room. He is the owner of the
Wait,
hotel.
did he knock on the door? He just walked in.
He did knock on the door.
Did he say anything that made you
I got a weird vibe, like he
Did
just.
he say, I didn't. We can talk about the vibe later. Did he say anything to you that made you feel uncomfortable?
No specific comments, verbal comments.
Did he put his hands on you in any way, shape, or form?
Not in that interaction.
Okay. Did he look at you in a way that, you know how men will sometimes leer and sort of look you up and down? You're like, my eyes are up here and not down here. Did you get some of that?
Yes.
Coming up on America's Court.
The waiter comes over and delivers a alcoholic beverage to me, and he says it's on the house. And I look up at the bar, and Mr. Neville is staring at me and smiling. If you want to send me something free, just give me like a basket of fries or something. You don't need to send an alcoholic beverage.
And later,
We went to an open mic and we all met. We met our bandmate Sheila. I'm primarily in front. I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
No, we're not doing all that up in here.
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Wilson Neville, who is suing Sophia Kent for breach of contract.
The attention was, you felt it was more of a sexual nature?
Yes.
Okay. How would you respond to that, Mr. Neville?
It was all professional.
Okay, you felt you were being professional.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you say to him, you know, Mr. Neville, I'm kind of feeling uncomfortable. I tell you what, I'll see you later, or do you just...
I never want to make a miscommunication happen that isn't happening.
All right.
And this was the first time that this happened on this trip, so I just kind of was like, you know, just treat me like any other guests you have here.
You told him that?
Yes, I just said, you know, the way that I like to do it is I'll create the content. It's going to look great on my Instagram. It's totally going to work. You know, on my social media, it's going to look awesome. And you don't need to worry about that. So I asked him to leave. And then...
Did she ask you to leave, sir?
She did ask me to leave, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. All
Yes.
right. And then, are we still on the second day, or
We're
was
still
that the
on-
extent of the second day's adventure?
No, the second day he came back up to my room a second time about 45 minutes later to retrieve the breakfast that he had given me.
Is that true, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. I
Okay.
wanted to make sure, first off, that the breakfast was to her liking.
You couldn't have somebody else do that, sir?
No,
because
I-
you're normally not doing that with all your guests, are you?
Well, this was the first time that we ever had any kind of...
So you were really trying to put the best foot forward because you wanted her to say as many admirable things and positive things about the experience.
Yes, Your Honor.
When you went back up a second time, what happened?
Well, when I went back up the second time, I clearly just went in to retrieve the breakfast.
Okay.
And
did you do that and then leave?
that's all I did, Your Honor.
Is that true?
Yes, but I just thought it was weird because I had specifically kind of been, you know, very direct in my communication the first time.
Okay.
And I'd kind
Sometimes
I
people
would just
don't hear what they want, what they need to hear at that moment.
Right.
All right, and then what happened?
So yeah, so I'm still like, it's all good, but I was gonna post about the breakfast. I decided maybe I'll post about something else.
Because you already posted one thing.
The first day, yes.
Right. And we're in the second day, and other than this encounter with the breakfast and the tray being removed, why didn't you post for the second day?
I'm sitting at dinner, and the waiter comes over and delivers a alcoholic beverage to me, and he says it's on the house. And I said, well, I didn't order that. And he's like, well, you know, we thought just through our generosity we would give you a free drink. And I look up at the bar, and Mr. Neville is staring at me and smiling at me. And in my opinion, I feel that as a young woman with an older gentleman sending me an alcoholic beverage, like, if you want to send me something free, just give me like a basket of fries or something. Like, it's not that big of a, like, you don't need to send an alcoholic beverage. I don't know what he put in the drink. I don't know. He's the one in charge here. So it's like, I have to look out for myself.
Do you have any children, sir?
I do. I have two children. I have one daughter who's 18. My son is 15, but I am divorced.
Okay, because your 18-year-old daughter, if she were in that same situation and she was saying an older gentleman was making me feel uncomfortable, that probably wouldn't sit well with you.
No, it wouldn't, Your Honor.
Were you, in fact, at the bar looking and smiling when you had the
I
drink
was
delivered?
smiling, Your Honor. Again, providing the best customer service was my number one goal.
I got it.
And I had already noticed that she hadn't done any further posts. And so once again...
Because you were checking, you're like, okay, it's day 2, where's the second post?
Yes, Your Honor.
Got
And
it.
so...
All right, I got it. You go back to your room?
Yes, I still
Did you end
was...
up posting?
I didn't post at the end of that second day because our contract said 3 posts total, and it didn't say when they had to be made. I was still kind of thinking, you know, there's a possibility that there's a miscommunication going on here. So I just held off on it because I wouldn't want to put my followers in danger by promoting an establishment that might be a little bit skeevy, or I have a lot of young female followers that I have to think about.
So
here.
now we're day 3.
Day 3. I get up, go to eat my breakfast, and I go over to the pool thinking I'll make a post at the pool. And Mr. Neville comes over to me and sits down next to me and starts talking to me, you know, about the hotel, and puts his hand on my knee, which to me...
Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor. I did put my hand upon her knee, but it was only to reassure her after our initial 30 seconds of conversation when she was giving me the cold shoulder.
Had that been your 18-year-old daughter, how would that leave you feel?
Well, with my daughter, I'd be very concerned.
You crossed the line.
I don't feel I crossed the line. I was reassuring her when I got the cold shoulder.
That wasn't a question that I was proposing to you. That was a statement with an exclamation point at the end. So you left, I take it, or did you stay and...
So I was terrified at that point, so I quickly and quietly left after he left the pool. I packed up all my stuff, and I left the hotel, and I didn't stay for the 3rd night, and I didn't make the last 2 posts.
Okay. And you wanted to pay the $750, the value of the stay, because she didn't do her job.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's not going to happen. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel will come down in favor of the defendant in this case. It's a tough lesson that you're going to have to learn, but if you're going to continue to engage in inviting people for swap, and it's a good idea, it's a great concept, maybe you're not the person that should be interacting with those individuals, sir. Your matter's dismissed. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
Honestly, I did him a favor. If I would have made those other 2 posts, they would have been negative.
I only had the best of intentions. However, I do see that my actions were inappropriate.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
She promoted another makeup brand on my live stream. I was going to
So
just
she
be
handed
back.
it to me.
Okay, who's talking, me or her?
You don't get to ask the questions up in the air.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Rochelle Paulson claims her bandmate sabotaged an endorsement deal she had by taking over her live stream and says it cost her money. Ms. Paulson is suing Felicity Burke in the amount of $500.
Ms. Paulson, you feel as though Ms. Burke owes you $500.
Yes, sir, I do.
You start.
So me and Felicity used to be in a group.
You're not in the group anymore?
No, we disbanded. Excuse me.
How long were you all together?
We were together for 2 years.
2 years, I'll agree with her on that.
Okay, who's talking, me or her?
You don't get to ask the questions up in the air.
I know,
I'm listening to you. I got it.
Okay.
How did you all come together, Ms. Burke?
We were in college and we went to an open mic and we all met. We met our bandmate Sheila and we all got along. We all have different ranges, so.
No manager or anything? You guys are doing all this yourself?
We originally, and then we got a manager.
You do have a manager.
You had a manager?
Yes.
Yes.
And do you take turns singing, or is there one person that's more in front and the other 2 are behind? Does someone play instruments? How does it work?
So I'm primarily in front.
Okay.
You have something to say?
I know.
You know what I have to say.
I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
No, we're not doing all that up in here. No.
We got a manager, and then he pretty much
Start booking you guys in small gigs.
Yeah,
just to
yeah,
sort of
it was a
build
West Coast
following?
tour.
Yes.
Okay. And people were responding.
Yes, they
Yeah.
were.
Okay. And then what happened?
So people were responding,
Yes.
and from the response that we actually got, I was able to get an endorsement deal for a makeup company in which they wanted me to promote their makeup on my social media.
As you as an individual, or was that presence as a member of the group?
It was as me as an individual because we have 2 separate social medias.
Ms. Burke, did you have your own individual
Yes, Your Honor.
site as well? And were you also trying to get endorsement deals for different things?
After the fact, we all thought we were doing it together. We thought we were going to get endorsements like makeup brands and whatever endorsement
Was that
came our
something
way.
you all talked about?
We did. Me and Sheila, we decided, you know, I guess this is our time to accept other opportunities that come our way, endorsement-wise, financially.
You have to. You ended up losing the endorsement deal.
Yes, I did.
Coming up on America's Court.
Dancing, getting ready. It's like the
Okay,
show.
because one of the hands has a phone in it.
Yeah, my hand.
And the other hand has what in it?
Makeup.
What are you doing with that hand?
You know.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Rochelle Paulson, who is suing Felicity Burke for lost wages.
So it was the second to last day of our tour. I actually have a contract right here from the...
Sure.
Can you give this to him? From the contract, they're very specific in saying that I cannot promote any other makeup brands on any of my social medias until our contract is up.
The influencer agrees to avoid mentioning and or showing competitors of the advertiser.
So I was doing a live stream on my social media. I was actually called out of the green room to go do a quick change. I gave her specific instructions as, hey, can you put my phone back on the vanity with the rest of my things? She went on my live stream and she promoted another makeup brand on my live stream.
You can't pause a live stream?
You can't pause a live stream, you can only end it. And the only reason why I didn't want to end it is because once you end it, all the people who were tuned in, they have to retune back in. And if you end it, you may not get as many people.
You didn't want to lose that momentum.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so I said, hey, can you just put it on my vanity? I was going to
So
just
she
be
handed
back.
it to me.
She handed it to you?
She handed me the phone willingly. We're behind the scenes. We're about to go on stage. I think we're doing this live stream as, you know, a unit because we are...
You didn't know that this was a live stream specifically for the company that hired her to do the makeup contract?
No, I...
Did you tell her, I'm live streaming for...
None of us
were.
Because I wasn't live streaming to promote the particular makeup brand. I told everyone in my group that I got this endorsement that I won't be promoting or putting any other makeup on any of my social media besides this one particular makeup. And she knew this fact, but still put her makeup brand that she's being endorsed by in my live stream.
Okay, now wait. In the meantime, you get an endorsement deal. And you start talking about the endorsement deal you have on the live stream?
No, I was not talking about the endorsement deal.
What were you doing?
I was holding my makeup, not realizing that it was in the shot. Dancing, getting ready. It's like the show.
Okay, because one of the hands has a phone in it.
Yeah, my hand.
And the other hand has what in it?
Makeup.
And what are you doing with that hand?
Just, you know.
Okay.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. Promotional consideration provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
You're playing these two roles. Rochelle Paulson, and look at me doing my makeup, but then you're also with this group of individuals and you're not being specific as to, okay, but this is just for us. And then on top of it, there's nothing that I can glean that she did this intentionally or maliciously. And you bear the burden of showing that she engaged in negligence. Does she have a duty? Did she fail to exercise reasonable care with that duty? You have to actually be able to say, this is how she was negligent. Your matter is dismissed. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I wasn't being malicious. It was all just an accident.
I really wish I would have gotten my money, but I guess I'm just going to go solo now.
Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.